The Lucid Air, electric vehicle slated for commercial delivery in 2019. On paper, it's got the specs, in fact, astonishingly so. Acceleration on the base model is just over 4 seconds, range between 240 and 400 miles, a starting price without federal tax incentives of about $60,000, meaning a delivery price for many folks with the federal, state incentives and perhaps some local incentives around the $50,000 level. Now, that alone is interesting, but it's not what makes Lucid Air exciting, at least to me. When we look at Tesla, what Tesla did was show that the electric vehicle could decimate the perception of performance limits within the auto industry. It brought supercar performance to the comfort of a sedan with a price factor at the high end of the sedan luxury market, mainstream sedan luxury market. But it didn't have the same emotional connection that, let's say, a 1960s muscle car has with a lot of folks. Now, aesthetics are incredibly subjective, but to this individual's mind, my reaction is a visceral connection with the Lucid Air. To me, it is the merge of technology with aesthetics. It's engineering prowess combined with a keen sense of what the auto industry should have done to evolve to the current century. When I look at many cars, in fact, arguably everything, it feels like the smartphone industry prior to Apple demonstrating in that single instance when Steve Jobs showed pinch and zoom. It invalidates a prior methodology. The Lucid Air, in its, I would argue, revolution in the interior and beautiful shell exterior, makes the connection between what could be argued the ultimate practicality, utility, and in time affordability of the electric car, putting aside even any environmental benefit which clearly derive from the combustion engine meeting its final end. But the Lucid Air is engineering from an aesthetic perspective, from the human emotional perspective, towards a vehicle. I think it will stimulate Tesla to up their game in terms of the interior design at least. And I doubt I'm alone. In fact, I've heard many people say that that is a weak point for many in the Tesla revolution. It will stimulate other startups to strive even harder, to do more, to be of incremental benefit to the industry. And hopefully, it will provide the shock, the electrified shock necessary to transform the rest of the industry, an auto industry that appears complacent. Okay, they've stuck LCD screens in cars, but they haven't revolutionized anything. They haven't satiated that human desire for something fundamentally better. And more, the car is becoming a commodity. And yeah, autonomous vehicles change everything in a different way, but it doesn't change the human soul and its desire to be encased in something that brings pleasure. Lucid Air, and some other startups yet to be fully emerged, appear to be heading in that direction. So they're bringing back the emotional connection of the 1960s with cars in a practicable way, in an environmentally rational way, and in a darn fun way too. So thank you, Lucid Air, and I look forward to the product release. And to everyone else, beat Lucid Air, because that competition is the really cool aspect of entrepreneurialism.